Good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon here in Texas. It's about 78 degrees with a nice little breeze outside. We don't normally get much better weather than that here. So I wanted to talk about a couple things. I've been working on these rocking horses. Haven't been doing these for a little bit lately because I do other stuff, so I've been working on some furniture. This is the latest thing that I've been doing right here. That's a prototype. We're going to start producing some of those for hopefully for some new moms. We have one of our neighbors is working on having a second baby, so she's definitely going to get one of those. But I wanted to talk about these. These are a couple of toddler horses that I'm working on. They come from this plan right here that I've had for about 11 years. And just a little bit of background on this, the way this all happened was when I first started getting really back into woodworking after a really long time of being out of it. I walked into a rockler store and saw the plans for this horse right here. That's literally the first rocking horse I ever made. And that went to a church auction to help raise some money for some of the community projects that they were working on at that church. So, anyway, had those plans, and I had just recently bought these plans, but work and everything being as it was, I hadn't gotten around to building any of these, and I have three little girls. Well, they're getting big now, but at the time they were all pretty small. My youngest was still a baby. And I bought these plans right here for this horse, plan number 56 from You Build Incorporated. And it comes with a full-size pattern. I just put some carbon paper down and traced those out onto my patterns, as you can see over here. But hadn't gotten around to building any yet, and we went to the church that did the rocking horse auction over there, was having a parking lot garage sale. And my wife bought one of those little cheap rocking horses, little wooden ones you can buy online. Somebody had one for $5, so she bought it for my youngest one because my kids didn't have any rocking horses, which is a little strange because it's pretty much what we do now. But we had it sitting there. We were selling some of our old stuff, and this really pregnant girl came up, and she wanted to know how much the rocking horse was. Well, my wife said it wouldn't be for sale, and she was very sad. She was about 8.5 months pregnant. Her name's Jen, and she was just so sweet and so disappointed she couldn't have that rocking horse. I knew I had these plans at home, so I told her I just got these, and I wanted to try building them, so I was going to build her a rocking horse. So my wife, being as artistic as she is, she's the one that did the rocking horse named Bella. And that was one of the first horses in this style that we did, and we gave away to an expecting mom. Well, word got out, and people loved it, and my wife's very artistic with her themes and things like that. So next thing you know, since then, in the past 11 years or so, we've probably done a couple hundred of these horses now. So met a nice little girl last week at the high school football game here in Midlothian, Texas. Little sweet girl named Ava. She's 2 years old. Serious little character. So I talked to her mom and her grandma, and they thought they would like to have one of these rocking horses. So Ava's getting one of these. That's what started this. And then I have another good friend whose niece just had a new baby. So he would like for her to have a rocking horse. So I got these going on the table right now. And David thought that it would be a good idea if I showed you guys a little bit about how I do it, but I'm a little far on in this process. So basically, I just thought I would give you a little background on how this all started with us here. I put two 8-foot boards together with two-sided tape. So these are all still stuck together. And I stick them all down, and then I use my patterns right there, trace them all out on the wood. And then I take the wood out. My miter saw goes outside. It's mobile right here on this stand. So that goes out. I cut everything to length in between my pattern marks. And then I take them to the bandsaw, and they get cut to shape there. I cut the big cuts like the body and these rocker curves here. I use a 1/4-inch blade on those because it does better in the long sweeping curves like that. And then for the rest of this stuff, like the head profile, I'll switch to an 1/8-inch blade. And I use the Carter stabilizer on my bandsaw blade. This makes the bandsaw able to turn as tight a radiuses as a scroll saw can. So I can cut some really tight curves with that. And then once I'm done cutting them all out, they get shaped up on the sanders over here. These are all mobile. They all roll out and plug into the dust collection. They get shaped on the disc sander here, and then they get moved over to the spindle sander, and then finally they get finished up just with the hand sander. And I have underneath here just a bucket head hooked to my sander. It's not rated. It's not like helpful filtration levels or anything like that, but we use respirators, and you can see the shop's nice and open, so we don't worry about that. But it keeps the mess down, so that works really well. So the final sanding and everything on the profiles gets done with the palm sander. Gets all cleaned up. These are about ready to get assembled now. So I had posted a while back asking how you guys fit your legs on your rocking horses. Like I said, we've probably done a couple hundred of these here. So here's the pattern for the body. And I was going through all kinds of stuff trying to fit them and line them up and get them where I wanted. But then I realized that the pattern on the plan has these legs marked out. So I made a template where now all I have to do once I got the body together is I laid this on there and I laid the legs in here. And I can either use the dowel centers to mark it, or typically what I'll do is I'll put some glue on here after I cut the wedges. So I got the wedge patterns here, so I'll cut a wedge board, and then I'll trace these out on the wedge and just cut them out so they fit the legs, and they'll keep the splay of the legs out where they need to be, and they'll fit right in that jig there. So after I get them all lined up, I'll either put some glue and shoot a finish nail through it, or use the dowel centers depending on how I'm doing it. And then once they're attached, I'll just lift that off, and my leg will be right where I want it, front and back. Flip it over and do the other side. Works out pretty good. So that's kind of how I'm here on this part so far. I'll get going on putting these together and post a few more pictures and just kind of show you guys what it is that I do to put the rest of it together, and get some pictures of the boss painting them up. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is these plans up here. Those are the plans of the first rocking horse I ever built. The picture over there I showed you guys. And the kids name all the rocking horses. This particular little one here, his name is Patches. Kids named him that. They named that big horse, that's a 3-foot tall rocking horse there. This one's Charlie, and then we have a smaller version of him. And we have all different kinds of styles up there. There's all the patterns for all of our rocking horses and a couple chairs there. But they all have a name. This one's Patches. Charlie, I just recently was given the copyrights to that set of plans right there, which I thought was pretty cool because that was the first thing I ever saw at the Rockler store that got my attention. I thought was very cool, and so I have a little bit of a connection with that. And I helped the owner. I'm a licensed investigator in Texas, so I helped the owner with a situation that he got himself into trying to sell his business where some people defaulted on their contract. And so I helped him out, and as a thank you, he signed over all the copyrights to all his plans to me. So that plan right there belongs to me now. So anybody that's watching this video, if you would like a digital copy to those plans, we've had them digitized. If you want to send me a private message, I'd be more than happy to just send you a digital copy. You can print them out, and you can make some of those horses. Now, the only thing being is if you make those horses, we want to see pictures of them. So if you'd like to make some of those big rocking horses, they come out really nice. If you make them out of hardwood, they're beautiful. I'd be happy to share that pattern with you. But this is kind of where we are with this right here. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is that when we do these legs here, this is a set of legs. They come off the saw like that. They're stuck together with two-sided tape. And then I've just cut them out on the saw, shape them up on the sanders, and then I profile the edges with the roundover bit in my palm router. And I keep them this way because now when I separate them, that's a nice set of legs that match right there. So those will be the front, the other ones, right? And they all kind of match together. In the past, I've gotten in a hurry and made the mistake of profiling the wrong side and had to make new legs because I wasn't paying attention. This kind of helps me avoid that. So that's just another thing. So the body gets rounded over, the seats and the legs. This is the spacer. I'll take some pictures and show you when I put all those together. But that's basically it. I got about 4 hours into this job so far. Altogether, I think the whole assembly and everything, by the time I shoot it and do all that, I'm probably going to have about 10 or 12 hours in one. So doing it this way, I'm making two at the same time. You guys know how to do that. But that's how it gets done in my shop here. So I hope you guys like it. Again, if anybody would like a set of those plans for that large rocking horse right there, they're really not on the market anymore. So I'd be happy to share them because I'd like to see a few more of them out there getting built. So shoot me a message and I'll send you the digital plan for those. You guys have a great day. I love the stuff that you guys are doing. I hope you like this. This is just kind of what we do here. Have a great day.